The following clip you're about to see is a small excerpt taken from my exclusive show on Rumble called Lies You Can Trust. It's fully uncensored because Rumble does freedom of speech. You can check it out live every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. Central Time. But for now, enjoy this clip. Howard Stern, ladies and gentlemen, we've had Hillary Clinton on the show already. So because we're apparently doing people who are irrelevant but still think their voice matters, let's get to Howard Stern. This is coming from a guy who's very vaccinated, very dedicated to being a strong advocate for the party of love and unity. He had this to say. Breaking, Howard Stern says he hates anyone who votes for Donald Trump in November and demands they stop listening to his radio show. What's your reaction? That's good for business. That's very inclusive. That's very loving for him to literally say he hates over half our country. Boy, Howard, it seems like our country has not really been showing you a lot of love. Is the feeling mutual? I don't know. So anyone who hates Trump, he demands they stop listening to his, hey, stop listening to Howard Stern. He demanded it. Talk about a guy who is a complete worshiping puppet of tyrants. He's adopting their language. I demand you stop listening to my show. Howard, the only way you can demand anyone and stop anyone from listening to your show is you stop doing your show, you idiot. I demand you peasants to stop listening to my show. All right, Howard. Newsflash, most people already have stopped listening to your show. But it's great to see you and your permed women's hair making demands. That's great. I mean, this is a brave guy, by the way. He's a good role model. Didn't leave his house for apparently about 2 years because he had so much fear about COVID. I mean, COVID was out there ravishing 0.0001% of our population. Of the people dying of it, 94% had 4 or more comorbidities. I mean, that's basically everyone that it was killing. So it was definitely enough to frighten Howard Stern into being so scared that he didn't leave his house for 2 years. But that's great. Coming from a guy who on air in his prime would just, in my opinion, unethically and morally praise the degeneracy of women and men, have them do degenerate acts on air. So, wow, Howard, you're based on your track record. I definitely want to listen to you. Tell me what else to do, Howard. Turn my guns in? Absolutely. Surrender my right to freedom of speech? For sure, I will, because you said so, Howard. You matter. You're relevant. You have so much authority because you're such a principled person. By the way, thank you for everything you said about the unvaccinated. They're killing everybody. Yeah, they're selfish. We should have a separate society for them. Howard, you are a principled person. By the way, and I'm sure it's just a coincidence that you have been doing the bidding of the pharmaceutical industry, who own the record for having to pay the largest criminal fine in U.S. history, $2.3 billion. Pfizer gets first place on that. But you doing their bidding, it certainly appears to the uneducated eye that you're nothing more than a corporate sellout who has sold what you stand for, which back in your heyday seemed like nothing, but now it seems like you stand for less than nothing. Based on those principles that I know you have, I know it's just an illusion. Just you appear to be standing for nothing. I think it's just a big coincidence because I know a man like you, Howard, is a man of honor and principle that many young men can aspire to be like. And in fact, Howard, here's an alternative opinion. It's possible that you are a piss poor example of what a young man should be like, but maybe you'd be a better example of what young women should strive to be like. Scared, helpless, and wanting someone else to protect them. I think women deserve that. You seem to demand it. Protect me from these ravaging Trump-supporting people who sit there thinking different things than me. Protect me from the unvaccinated. Protect me from a virus that gives most people either no symptoms or like a mild cold. Someone protect me. Howard, it is very womanly of you to be so scared, demanding protection. You are a powerful example, not to all women, but mostly just the weakest of women. I do hope they strive to be more like you. You already have the haircut of a woman, and not a beautiful woman, an ugly woman. And Howard, I want you to know this. I'm probably not going to vote for Kamala. And it's not because she's a woman, it's because she's a stupid woman, which is exactly what you appear to be as well. Thank you, Howard Stern. Not that I have an opinion on that, but that's my take on Howard Stern's recent statement about hating anyone who's voting for Trump and demanding Trump supporters stop listening to his show. Dude, they would have stopped a long time ago, you idiot. What he talks about and what he advocates, it's way more pleasant to listen to nails scratching on a chalkboard. Here's a question for you. How many more lies will the media feed us before we wake up and smell the coffee? Well, while they're busy pushing narratives, 1775 is busy brewing something else. Freedom. And what about the big corporate coffee companies? Well, it sure seems like they're more interested in pushing woke agendas than in brewing a good cup of coffee. They'll happily sling you overpriced moldy swamp water that can barely pass as a cup of coffee, all while lining the pockets of the same people that want to censor your speech. But not 1775 coffee, proudly roasted by Rumble, where free speech thrives and flavor actually matters. Their single origin, high altitude beans are as bold as their fight for truth. So why sip on weak corporate coffee when you can brew rebellion? Head over to 1775coffee.com/awaken and use code AWAKEN to get 15% off your order. And every cup of 1775 coffee that you brew helps support creators like me that refuse to bow down to the mob.